Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Everquest Old School. And on tonight's episode, I am joined by two of my very good friends. You guys will probably recognize them. We have Hydros Inc. with us,
What's up, everybody? It's Kevin playing Thusk the Monk.
and of course, as you guys can hear right there in the background, we also have with us. Oh no, no man, we have BushidoBull with us.
Yeah, I tried. I really tried.
I waited too long
Leave
to run,
Tusk
dude.
alone.
Leave Brittany alone.
You need a webcam for that to get full effect. Put the little wig on and be like, ah.
Hiding under a blanket.
Leave Thusk alone.
Jeez, that was
funny.
tough. I don't know how high of a level that guy was, but man, that what happened to our necro? What happened to
I
our
don't know.
necro, man?
And
Did he log
roll
out?
it again.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh-oh.
Mend is just ridiculous right now, guys. I think you were saying yours is at like 42 though, Dusk, right?
Mine's at 45 now.
45, and you're finding that about half the time it actually works for you, right?
Yeah, a little bit better than half. A little bit better. It just fell on me right then when I raised it to 45. But
See, and for me, I'm around like 17, 18 on my skill. I need to go back to town and pump a whole bunch of points into it just to get a little bit higher. But for me, about 90% of the time, it fails or hurts me. The combination of the two. And most of the time, it's a fail. But there is that one little rarity that will just kill you. At lower levels, it almost always killed me. It almost always took life off of me. And I was too naive to know at the time not to use it when you were low on life. And so most of the time, I would just end up dying from it. Do you lose experience from that? I never looked.
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
After level 4, you do.
That's.
I lost. I thought it was after level 6.
But no, I was.
I mean, when you kill yourself.
Oh, what?
You know, because if you're dueling somebody, you don't lose experience. But do you lose experience when you kill yourself with Mend?
Yeah, I mean, if you die from... I would assume so. I would assume if you die from any other way except for dueling that you're going to take a experience hit.
Right. What happens if you attack yourself? Because you can kill yourself with your own spells. I never tried that back in the day, but I mean, it's always...
I did that once on a necro.
Really? You dotted yourself and then died?
Yeah, I dotted myself up with every dot I had. See how fast I would go down. Let's just say I went pretty quick.
I bet. I mean, that's just... Wow, that would suck so bad, but I could see it actually happening pretty common in zones where you're constantly trying to click on NPCs and then cast a spell without quite looking about who you're targeting on. You might actually target yourself, and if the mob gets away from you, you get hit a little bit. Yeah, I could see yourself dying, and you don't really have any way to recoup that loss unless there's an enemy there to do it on. So if you kill the guy and then you're just sitting there waiting for your poison to wear off, wow, that would be really, really bad to see. It'd be heartbreaking to watch somebody sit there and die because you couldn't heal them fast enough.
Wow, it's so I've seen that happen many a times on my clerics, man. An enchanter or a caster get aggro and they literally die before you can. Sometimes they die before you can even click on the heal spell. Sometimes they die before you can stand up. Sometimes they die right before the spell goes off. Usually that's how they die.
No,
right before the spell goes off.
I understand that, but I mean that is just you didn't get your power back fast enough to be able to heal them, or they died so quickly. But can you imagine sitting at an entrance waiting like 7 minutes to die because you know that dot doesn't wear away for another 15 minutes and your life isn't going up fast enough, so you know you're gonna die for like 7 minutes. You know, and having people around you and not being able to do anything about it, like that would suck. That would be like the worst thing to see happen. But unless you had somebody who can bind wound, or mend wound with the little bandages, you're probably not going to be able to do a lot about it.
True, and I don't know. Has that ever happened to your cleric?
What? Where I ran out of power to heal somebody?
Yeah, where you watch somebody die, like that, like you're explaining.
No, because with the cleric, you just have to wait for the power to regenerate. But, if it's going to be 7 minutes, you're going to be able to get more than enough heals for that. But in the situation where it was a lot quicker, yeah, I've seen it where, you zone because things get out of hand and somebody has poison on them.
Yeah.
And you have no power. And you sit down and you're like, you're at 4%. I'm not going to be able to. You're dead. You know?
See, that's never happened to my cleric, so I was just wondering if it had ever happened to yours because I've never, yeah, it's just never happened to me. I've never had anybody die from poison in my group and stuff like that. So usually because most of the time when I'm in a zone, in a certain zone, and there's like, a lot of poison going on, I'll mem cure poison. I'll mem cure disease. I'll mem cure magic and stuff like that. Is it cure magic? What is it? Cure disease, cure poison, and
Nullify or
no,
dispel.
it's that. Yeah, what is the other cure? There's cure disease, cure poison. I thought there was another cure. Is there not another cure?
Yeah, I think there is. It's not elemental. No, I don't know. As you're saying that, there it seems like there should be one more.
Yeah, I think there is one more, but I just
Poison
can't
and
think of it.
disease. Why can't we think of this? In fact, let's just go into our inventory. It should say what the resist are.
Oh, oh,
Poison, magic, disease, fire, and cold. Yeah, so fire and cold.
What is it?
Did you just level?
I did.
Congrats, man. Yeah, it's poison, magic, disease, fire, and cold.
But that's resist. I'm talking about like actual cure. I think it's just, is it just cure poison and cure disease?
It
and
must
that's
be.
it?
Yeah, it must be because that's the only thing you can
nuts. Okay, I thought there was one more thing that you could cure, but I guess I'm
Maybe it's
completely wrong.
EverQuest 2 we're thinking about because it does seem like there should be one more.
It does it. I mean, I'm thinking there was 3, but I could be mistaken, guys. I usually am. So,
But yeah, either way, if you zone with 0% of power and somebody has something on them, you're not
yeah,
going to
you're
be
just
able
gonna
to.
watch them die. Huh?
Yeah.
That must
And-
be a really crappy feeling.
And I've seen that happen, but it, like I said, it only lasts for like a second because it's so quick that they die with that poison. It's amazing they even got to zone in the first place. But if you're a cleric, you don't really need a lot of power to be able to heal. And I always had at least 3 heals mimed at any given time, so that I can do a big one, a medium one, and a very small one for the casters. And so I would always have at least something I could give them, even if it was a very small heal. It may keep them alive long enough for my power to go up and me cast another small heal. And maybe with the combination of a couple of the guys doing bind wound on him, he could survive. But sometimes it's very, very close. So those poisons can be pretty wicked, and you know all about that because you were showing me where to hunt over there with our druids and our shaman. And
Oh yeah, the crack spiders. Yeah, those crack spiders. The crack spider poison is very lethal. I'm almost tempted to intentionally get poisoned and to show you how bad it is, but no, I know crack spider poison is not to be trifled with.
And you were saying even with full, actual power as a druid, you may not be able to heal yourself enough to be able to survive that. That's pretty wicked. I mean, because you have a lot of healing power.
Yeah, it's bad. No, I don't have a lot of healer, dude. I can cure myself with my light heal for 7% of my life right now,
Which is
so
more than
literally,
anybody else. I mean, if you're
yeah.
taking that much damage, then somebody who's going to be taking the brunt of that
No,
without a heal.
Your clear could heal me for much better than that.
No,
man.
I get
That's the
that. I'm
same
just
level.
saying, like a Shadow Knight who can't heal himself, taking
Oh,
on
yeah.
somebody who's going to poison them.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Yeah, wrong guy.
Yeah, but that guy's been pulling over there for a while now. I'm sure he appreciates the little help that you gave him, though, a little bit of damage.
It's like, what the crap?
Yeah, we probably should help him out occasionally. Just give him a couple little hits here and there. You could always use it for your ranged attack if you got some extra ones lying around. I think I had 3 stacks, and I've been using them as much as I possibly can because I'm in.
Mine are gone. I mean, I've got like 12 left, I think, so from pulling and stuff like that. So I need to go buy some more. Because the rams are the dustiest, the femmes are the trust. I mean, I've got Fallout 4 songs stuck in my head.
Oh, you have that on because you're not recording them. I kind of missed that. If you turn that off, do you miss like the broadcast? Like who was it? 3 Dogs or whoever it was in the last one?
I'm getting it all from Fallout 4, and I really don't miss the music. It's just the same oldie songs over and over again. Now there's parts of it where I do miss it, but Fallout 4 is making me not miss it as much as I used to.
No,
because it's like a loop. It's like those loops me and you were talking about earlier, where you work someplace and they play the same music over and over again. It's the same thing in Fallout 4 and Fallout 3. The music just repeats itself over and over again.
But I mean, do you hear like is there radio broadcasters that if you're not listening to the music, you just wouldn't be able to hear them?
Right, exactly. And there's an announcer for Diamond City, but he even then after a
And a little bit of
while,
spoiler alert there, guys. But the game's out, so I mean, it's
right,
we're gonna be talking about it.
he starts repeating himself too, man. He
Oh,
starts
does he?
yeah, he does. He starts saying the same stuff over and over again. Now he is saying things new when I do things, like when I do things of note in the world, he'll start talking about that. So that's kind of cool. He talks about your exploits, but I don't think we spoiled anything really. I mean, if you're
No,
not
I mean
playing the game,
it
yeah,
was in the last one. I mean, it's not like we gave away any secrets or anything. I just want to let people know that we will discuss it from time to time. We try not to say
yeah,
anything too big. Yeah.
I'm trying not to give anything away, guys, because I don't want to spoil. You know, I could be talking about my adventures today, about how I finally did this and I finally did that, and I'm really happy about it. But I've been restraining myself
Yeah,
pretty
and he's
well.
been
You
doing a
know?
pretty good job because he knows that I'm going to be playing it here in a few,
Yeah,
maybe a
exactly.
week
So
when everything is all set and done and I'm ready to go with it. But man, I can't wait because it sounds like such a freaking awesome game.
oh,
And
it's so much fun, dude. It's so much
Breaking news. Mend worked.
well.
nice.
Well,
But yeah, I mean, if you played Mass Effect, they did that as well, where you'd be going through the Citadel on the space station, and the news reporter would be going over what you just did on your last like 2 3 missions and talking about more about it. Not just that you did it, but they'd be like, "Oh, Commander Shepard rescued 4 civilians, and the civilians made it back home, which you didn't know about." And then it said, one of the civilians rated his performance, blah blah, stuff like that, which actually extended upon the story that you already had. But they just did it when you're walking around the hallways. I kind of wish they would do something like that because if I'm going to record the videos, I can't have that music on, otherwise I get the copyright strike. So,
Even from
I
the
would just turn the music off, dude.
but then I won't hear what they say.
Well, that's true, but you don't necessarily need to hear what they say. It's just,
Yeah, but
I
it's
mean,
extra. Like I want to be able to hear what they say because
yeah.
I really liked Three Dogs in the original. He was funny. He had little clever, things to say when you were there, and it just, I don't know. I might have to actually. I don't know how I would do that. Like sit still for an hour or something and just listen to music and record what they have to say and then piece them together every so
Hey,
often.
Robert's online. Guyvan's online.
Yeah, you can throw them in the call if you want. Although I think you were saying, well, this is probably going to be the last video for tonight.
Nope.
So maybe another 15, 20 minutes that we're going to be on, guys. And then next Friday, or this Friday, actually, I should say, we're going to be doing those videos with Warp Jester. And hopefully be able to get our guys up a little bit higher because I'm actually very much looking forward to playing my Shadow Knight again.
Are you serious?
What's that?
I just almost killed myself. Oh, you were attacking the wrong guy, AC.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, crap. Oh, man.
Oh, no.
Don't sound too disappointed about it.
Yeah,
Oh, no. He died. Okay, now what were we doing over here?
It's so terrible.
Lost in
I don't know. I think we're getting used to it, guys, because I think all of us have died
Yeah, we're
like
dying.
5, 6, 7 times tonight. I mean,
Zach's died, I think, only once or twice. So.
Yeah.
that's true. But he's higher level than we are.
No.
And, he unfortunately doesn't steal the aggro as much as we do with the weapons we have. I mean, his weapon is really nice. I'm not putting that down at all. But it does seem like the ones that I have ultimately steal the aggro almost every single time. And then it's Dusk next. And then Zax kind of comes in with the weapon he's doing. I think if
zone, then I'd still aggro.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, if you were just using your weapon and we were using just the basic ones we started with, I mean, you would hands down be taking all the aggro because your weapon is really good. But with the combination of just the amazing weapons we've been given, we're completely stealing it from him, and that means that as a higher level, he's not really taking advantage of the fact that he's he could take the damage a little bit better because he is a higher level, and that's why he kind of survives because at the end he's actually able to kill these things off all by himself. Kind of doing that. He's at full life as well, so. It's been one of those nights, though. It's been funny. Funny and kind of interesting in just how weird some of the stuff worked. Earlier today, when I died, you guys were letting me know that my corpse did something weird. If you guys want to tell them what that was.
No, you didn't die. You almost died, but you slithered across the ground like on your back, like a snake, a reverse snake. It was really weird. It was it was kind of funny.
And that's basically because they were saying that I collapsed onto the ground. You know, like you're bleeding to death, but you're not quite
Nope.
dead. And when I was backing up on my screen, it showed me that I had stood up, but on their screen, it glitched out, and the body kind of just moved around the floor in a weird manner. So that would have been interesting to see. Unfortunately, we weren't recording at the time, but yeah, sometimes the game does weird things, and it strikes you, and you're like, what was that? It makes the whole night worth it just to see something like that happen.
Yeah, for those people out there who's always wondered, can you run on on your ass? Yes, you can. It's called the butt cheek shuffle.
You see dogs doing it all the time for some reason. Now, have you guys ever seen anything incredibly weird on EverQuest?
I've seen all kinds of weird things. Now it's like who cares?
No, I'm just saying, like on EverQuest, have you ever seen anything that was just completely outrageous? The head of a mob on the wrong mob, or
Oh,
walking into a zone and finding like the wrong NPCs have spawned, or maybe no NPCs in the entire zone.
well, I think it was a dirty trick by somebody on live. They came up
Zach's, get in
and
here.
they charmed a mob over in Greater Fay, and then they shrunk them as many times as they could, and then they left the zone with that mob still up, and it would run around and attack people, and people would have no idea where it was at because it was out of sight.
That's funny. That's actually clever. That is what trolling should be, guys. Trolling shouldn't just be let me log on and cause some grief because I want to, but I don't want to put any effort into it. That right there, somebody thought about that good and hard to figure out what would get somebody to be, completely outrageous, kind of death and not know it and then have to figure it out. That's pretty clever. I like that. How did they figure it out? I mean, what was the thing? I mean, you can look at your chat bar and
when the
see.
mob
But
attacked you, you would still get the target, but when you tried to attack, it'd always say, "Get closer. Your target's too far away."
How's all the dustiest?
so you thought you were what? Like the mob was
All the rustiest.
under the earth, like it does sometimes. You have
Yeah.
to.
Oh, say the bustiest way.
And there was
back
times
home.
in Drenick Scar, there was a way I found somehow I could fall under the earth, and there were certain areas you could walk around, and in a PvP server, you could really wreck somebody because they wouldn't have any idea where you were at.
The streets are the dustiest.
What about you over there, singer?
Where are they?
The fun
You
will
see them just running all
ring.
over.
You ever heard anything, seen anything strange at EverQuest besides
I've
the
seen-
singing that occasionally will pop out of nowhere?
I've seen some pretty bad bugs.
Yeah, bug.
Can you
Like,
remember one offhand?
I've watched my corpse fall into the. I've watched myself fall beneath the earth before. I've seen that back when
That still
when it
happens.
was when it was live and stuff like that. I've fallen through the earth, which is always scary, man. Especially when I've seen my corpse disappear in front of me right before I went to loot it. I've seen the pod lift kill me with malice and forethought. So I've seen the Priest of Discord fighting elven guards that somebody had trained. I don't know how they did it. I think probably Fiend Death was involved, but I don't know how they got each other to aggro. I don't know. I don't know how they got the
Disarmed 'em.
Priest of Discord to aggro. Yeah. Well, however, I've seen a lot of weird stuff in EverQuest, and I love it. So
It's starting to sound like that scene in where he's what was the name of the movie now? That sci-fi movie with the robots.
robot perfection.
Oh crap! I can't think. It has Harrison Ford in it.
The robots?
Yeah, they're androids. Oh crap! That was stupid.
not a good pull.
And he left, so we can zone this if we have to.
Yeah.
This is red to
Come over
me.
and help us, Zorn. Oh, there he is.
I don't think we can take both of these.
Invite him back. Oh, maybe no.
There we
The
go.
worst thing I've seen happened to my character on live. For some reason, I zoned someplace. I think I was going to Neculus Forest, and it said loading. Then the whole thing crashed. You think, it happens, right?
Where
Well,
did
when I
Skelly
logged-
go?
When
What
I
the
logged
crap?
back in, who?
Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, he found it. Oh, there you are, sir.
when I logged back in, my character was not in character select.
I've heard a lot of people running into issues like that before, and
It was like gone.
yeah. And sometimes the GMs would send you responses like, "Well, we can't find it." And that's it. And I'm like, "No, that is not it. You go back and you yell at them a little bit more because you were paying for it." Yeah. Yeah, you guys got it saved in there. Don't give me that, bullcrap that you can't find it. And you just had to yell at them long enough, threaten to end your account, no longer pay them any money, and they eventually will cave in, and which is the right thing to do. I mean, come on, the dude's paying money for it, and
Yeah.
if you make it hard enough that if he's doing it on purpose, he'll probably never do it again. Then that I can understand that. Make it that difficult, but in the end of the day, help the dude out, and that's what you see some of these companies not quite doing as well as others. And the people remember that if somebody loses a character they've been working on for like 2 years, chances are they probably will quit the game. Out of principle or just out of the fact that the character they've been making this whole time is gone, and the idea of starting over from like complete scratch in a time when they didn't really want to start over, with the idea of everything they just did was lost and could be lost again, just puts them off from it altogether, and you lose that monthly paycheck that you were getting. So yeah, you gotta treat these guys a little bit better, help them out, especially in hacks. I remember like Sony got hacked a lot, didn't they?
Yeah, but I don't think the game itself did.
I never heard of EverQuest back in the day getting hacked. Now that doesn't mean it didn't happen, guys. I never heard of it. I mean, back then, guys, I didn't know about the internet. I didn't surf the internet. I didn't check out the internet. I literally got my computer.
The internet? What are you talking about? You talking about the information superhighway?
Yeah, the interwebs. The interwebs. But no, I paid $1,400 for an AMD back in the day simply to play EverQuest. So, and that's all I did. I mean, I know that I had to go through AOL and I had to hear the weird 51K modem connecting noise and
you got mail.
But I never used email. I didn't have anybody to email. I got my game. I got my computer to play EverQuest, simply to play EverQuest. So it took me people being like, oh, okay, you can look that up at this site. Like there was a site like Alakazam back in the day, and so finally EverQuest taught me how to surf the web. EverQuest, because I wanted to look up Quest, and because I wanted to look up things on EverQuest, I started using the internet. So for me, it was EverQuest first, and then the internet. Excuse me, guys. Sorry.
Holy crap, dude!
Wow.
Better out than in, man. Right?
Right. But yeah, so I mean, that may be hard for some of you to believe, but that's how it worked for me, guys. I mean.
Yeah, we're old guys. We're really, really old.
Yeah, really, really, especially
because there's kids watching right now. They're like, "What are you talking about? You guys didn't have the internet, and what the crap is the information superhighway? Never heard of that. Don't know what that is, but it sounds totally lame." Yeah, it does sound totally lame, and it sounded totally lame to us too. So did the word lame, and.
Not as
Back in the day, you young whippersnappers can't appreciate anything. We had to go to the library to look stuff up.
I just think it's remarkable that I bought this, $1,400 computer, and I did it for a video game and not the internet. I didn't, and it's weird to me. It's remarkable to me that EverQuest taught me how to use the internet, and EverQuest was before the internet. That's just weird.
Well, I mean, you say the internet, but we can just call it what it is, right? I mean, it's just porn. That's what the internet is. That's why you spend $1,400 on the computer. That's all the internet has ever been and ever will be.
It was 8-bit back then. It was 8-bit.
I don't care if it's 8-bit, 16-bit, or a gazillion bits. That's all the internet is, man. Go to any famous person's site and misspell their name, and that will be what you go to. Like they have all the domains everywhere. For anything.
Porn's not that bad, dude. Porn's not that bad.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying they own everything.
No, I'm saying
they own the internet.
It's not that prevalent on the internet. I don't see a lot of porn on the
internet. I don't know what internet you're surfing. I mean, but it's not the one that everybody else surfs. I guarantee you on that one.
I don't even know what this porn thing is, dude. What's porn?
But he's like, yeah, I started using the internet for video games. I'm like, you're like the only one on the planet. Like everybody else went there for other reasons.
I went over to my friend Brandon's house. He bought a computer to play the game too. He bought a he bought it for EverQuest because he watched another friend play it. And so I went over there and I was like, okay, I need to buy a computer so I can play this video game. And then I had to get AOL. And I remember, man, I took all these steps just so I could play EverQuest. And I never regretted it, man. I never regretted the fact that I think it took me 3 months worth of paychecks to pay for that AMD, which was top of the line.
Watch your life,
back
Zach.
then.
Watch your life.
Yep. Oh, wow.
But it's just funny to me that, usually a lot of people back then, it was the internet first and then it was video games. But for me, it was, the internet was a big thing back then.
For me, it was definitely video games first, man. I've been playing video games the whole time, and I don't remember when I got involved with the internet. I just always was. It was just ever since I've been involved in computers, the internet always seemed like it was there. So I never had that kind of learning curve of just going in there with the new technology. But now, as you get older, you start to see new technologies actually being created in front of you, and you're like, well, yeah, I guess I'll have to sit there and figure out how this stupid thing works so that I can use it, because it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere anytime soon.
Yep, true that.
But some of it's really freaking complicated, man. It's like, dang, man, like I'm not even going to use this. Like I don't even enjoy using this. Sometimes less technologically advanced is sometimes the key. Like when I write, it may be, I'm going to die.
I go.
Oh, Min failed again. Oh, man, you suck so bad.
This guy was too high level.
But yeah, when I write, guys, I actually tend to prefer the tactile sensation of either doing it with the pencil or on a typewriter. Like, I like the sound of the typewriter. The computer is obviously better. I can go in there and edit my stuff a lot easier than using the whiteout and going back in there retyping and stuff. But as far as like the sound goes and the sensation, which actually tend to help me with my writing a lot more because of that, that's something I go with. So not always, better to go with what's the most advanced out. At least for me. Maybe it's different for you guys.
At least we can look up hamburgers and pickles, on the internet.
Oh yeah, I gotta love me some pickles, guys.
You gotta get that pickle on the hamburger, man.
I bet that there's an application out there that you can add, and when you do it in word processor, it makes that tick 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 tick.
Yeah, I bet there is, but it wouldn't be the same thing. But guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and end the episode here. If you guys do enjoy watching our episodes and don't mind the fact that I say guys like every other word in this episode right here, hit that like button. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, guys. Totally, like, completely. Wow.
Holy crap.
Yes. Yeah, okay. So we are going to go ahead and end the episode. Again, hit that like button and subscribe. We have gone off the rails so bad. So bad. And
this train is taking a dirt road, let me tell you.
And we just want to thank you yet again, and we'll definitely catch you next time.
Subscribe.